Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. Jake, my man, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Casual. Everything's going good. Nothing to talk about.
No fitness updates, nothing like that?
No. Oh, fitness update? Yeah, well, actually, I've not lost anymore. I'm still stuck at my weight. However, I did manage to complete my first 10K run on Monday night without stopping. Come on.
Well, I mean, it's improvement.
It is improvement. I never thought I'd ever run that far.
Jake, we're always here for you. People will show you some love and support in the comments as per usual, right? At least you didn't say, okay, well, you've taken a little stale one. We haven't trained the whole week and slashed down 2 burgers and 4 pizzas, which is always good to hear.
No, okay. I did have 2 burgers. I had 3 burgers yesterday, if you include lunch.
Bro, that's crazy. You know, this whole thing started with Jake saying, okay, well, I'm going to get in shape because I'm going to the British and Irish Lions and he's going to be in peak physique. But I mean, he hasn't gone a week without slashing down at least 3 burgers throughout the week. It's crazy.
Yeah.
To be fair, burger isn't the worst thing in the world because it's not really fast food burgers, is it? It's just like homemade stuff.
Yeah, one was at like a pub and then 2 was at home. And then I also had, I think, was it 7 ciders yesterday? Yeah,
okay. Let's just quit the fitness journey. Okay, we've got some talking points. We're not going to talk about the URC and the Prem and stuff, right? That's done and dusted. Congratulations to Bath. Thoroughly deserved it. Congratulations to Leinster. Same goes. I mean, dominant performances in the final. Anyway, we are going into international rugby. And this is kind of a video that we're just going to do off the cuff. And we're just going to talk some shit when it comes to international rugby, right? So we're going to cover British and Irish Lions against Argentina, the expectations for the tour to Australia. We'll also be covering a bit of South Africa versus the Barbarians and the South Africa kind of year, what we can expect. What should the standards be? So if that's your type of thing, of just fans coming together, just talking a bit of shit when it comes to rugby, please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate you guys. Now, Jake, before we get into the squad, because the squad's already been announced to take on Argentina. That game for Friday night has been announced, or the squads have been announced. How are you feeling knowing this is the starting point for the Lions? What's your thoughts on the British and Irish Lions, seeing that it's every 4 years?
Oh, man, I'm just so excited. Like, seeing all the sort of bits coming out on their social medias and getting into all that, I just really can't wait for it to begin. And yeah, to see how even the first game, see what combinations work. We'll get into that in a bit, but there's some exciting ones this Friday. And yeah, I'm loving it. I'm really hyped up for this. What about you as a neutral-ish?
I'm very excited for it. I think it's one of those things where even though you have no real skin in the game with it, I think it's something different. It's something that you look forward to. That's why it's every 4 years. The fact that it's kind of a rare thing. And you know how much it means for the other teams. You know how much it means for us to beat the Lions. You know how much it would mean for New Zealand or Australia to do the same, to beat the Lions. But you also know how passionate the guys from up north are to actually come down to the south and represent the Lions and, for instance, beat these teams at their home field. So I'm very excited for it. It always ends up being a successful series. I haven't seen one, well, since I was born, where it's been a bit lackluster. Yeah. I mean, literally every single time there's drama involved and whatever. And the fact that what I love even more is it's not just like 3 tests and it's like once off or whatever. There's proper prep time for the Lions guys. They play about 6 warm-up games, massive squad, getting exactly what they need from all the combinations, and then they play the big games. And I think this year is going to be absolutely massive because the Wallabies, they've got a point to prove, obviously, and the Lions will always have a point to prove because the previous time that the Lions won down in the South, that was against the Wallabies, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
What was that,
2013, that was.
2000. Yeah.
That was 2-1.
Yes. I think it was 1-1, and then the Lions just kind of ran away with the final game, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
What's that?
I said it was 1-1, and then the Lions just kind of ran away with it in the last game.
Oh, I can't remember what happened now. I think so.
Anyway, Anyway, yeah. So from a neutral, I'm very excited for it. But I want to ask you, when you look at the Lions, are you able to put away all bias when it comes to the Lions teams who you're supporting on the field? Can you just say, okay, I'm fully embracing the Lions? Or is
Yeah,
it like, well, I'm embracing the Lions, but I don't really want, for instance, James Lowe scoring tries because he's not from England? Or you just
no,
like stack them full of English players?
I
What's your
think
thoughts on it?
you're going to have natural biases about who you think should play and start probably or get in the squad. But I think once they're on the pitch, you don't care that James Lowe is from Ireland. You know, you're just happy to see him score for the Lions and stuff like that.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I just wanted to ask the perspective on it because obviously this is a team combined full of heated rivalries, right? If you look at the rivalry between England and Wales and Scotland and Ireland, I mean it's crazy. That's what makes that's kind of the whole bold of the Six Nations is the rivalries
Yeah.
between it. And now you get them together. I was just wondering, do you have some oomph when you watch the game? And you're like, well, you kind of hope one of them gets smashed a bit harder, even though they're representing the team that you're supporting. Anyway, your thoughts on the Lions series? Because let's do this as a proper preview for the Lions.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? Okay, you'll probably back the Lions to win the tour, right? That's pretty obvious.
Mhm.
Do you reckon they sweep everyone from Argentina right until the final game of Australia?
You know what? I was talking to my dad earlier, and he was like, he reckons Argentina could be like the toughest one because like the players are like it's their first game together, whereas
Yeah,
Argentina,
could be caught cold. How long have
yeah,
they been
yeah,
training together? A week?
maybe two now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll clean sweep. I think I think they'll beat every single Australian club side, and it's a bit worrying if they don't. And
Even
yeah,
if
I
they
think that
rotate a lot?
but there's only so much you can rotate. But it's four nations into one squad. The B team is strong, you know. So
Yeah.
I think they'll lose to Australia once. Just to get to that question, I think they're going to win 2-1, but I think they will lose one game to the Wallabies. I think they'll beat the Pumas in Dublin this Friday, but that will be a tough game, I'm pretty sure.
Are you surprised that we haven't seen more? Okay, well, maybe we're not. We shouldn't be surprised because obviously they just played in the URC final. I was going to say, are you surprised that we don't see more Irish players in the team that was announced? But it makes sense, right?
No,
What's your thoughts
literally,
on
I
Joe
guess
Schmidt saying that they won't necessarily play their international players for the franchise games?
I think I think I can understand it because most of the Australian viewers are going to be watching. Let's be honest, the three main tests because um, a lot of the, you know, the situation that rugby's in. Not to like bring up be all negative, but like it's not in the best place in Australia. But the one thing that is going to really get the most peak viewers is the Wallabies, and I think you want to perform best in those games. So if taking those internationals out of the Brumbies and the Reds and you know the other two, giving them more preparation as a squad for the Wallabies games, I think it's probably worth the sacrifice.
Yeah, but you also don't want to get to that point where let's say they play the Reds and you get an injury to Tate McDermott, or you get an injury to Fraser McWright or Harry Wilson, who's just come back from injury. You don't want to risk it and play them in the while they could be in a training camp with the Wallabies. What's that?
What?
No, I thought you said something.
No.
You don't want to risk it in that game. They get injured there, then they're not available for the Wallabies because obviously the Wallabies still have their entire international season in front of them, right? So you don't
Yeah,
want to
but
kind of risk it to that point when you know, okay, well, the Wallabies team's building. They need as much time as they can to kind of still prep because it's still a new team, right? We only saw little peaks that they can reach during last season's season, but that was obviously at the end. And now they went into a massive break again. How they had their Super Rugby season. So I fully agree with it. I don't understand why people would expect the international boys to play in the franchises as well. When it came down to the Springboks one, when you travel to us, it was a bit different because remember, during the COVID years, we didn't have any franchise rugby.
Yeah.
So the Springboks also didn't have a 2020 season. So those guys really needed the warm-up, because, I mean, there was a couple of flabby bellies that came back into that Springbok setup before we took on the Lions, you know.
But
So
they should have
it's
just
a
joined
bit
me
of a
on my
different
fitness
situation
journey,
now.
you know.
Sorry?
Should have joined me on my fitness journey. They would have lost it straight away.
Oh, it's been months now, Jake. It's been months. Anyway, let's actually start talking about Friday night's game, because I'm very excited for this one. I don't think it will be a necessarily true reflection of what the Lions will be capable of. As you just mentioned, they've been together a week, maybe 2 weeks, with training camps and stuff. And it's also not the full strength team. There's a lot of the Irish boys not there, for instance. But if you look at the squad, yeah, we're going to run through the squad. It's still a very sexy lineup. Very, very sexy. I like the combinations. So I'll give you the honors. We'll talk us through the lineup, and then we'll talk about the combinations that we're most excited to see.
Yes. Am I doing the lineup? Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you the floor.
Okay, well, front row, Ellis Genge, Finley Bealham, the two props, and Luke Cowan-Dickie at hooker. What do we think of that so far, Casual?
I like it. I think it's fair enough. Is Jamie George on the bench? No.
No, he's not in the squad. It's Kelleher in the bench. I see Sheehan got the most minutes in the URC final, so Kelleher is the one who's going on the bench for this game.
Just because it's at the Aviva, I would have maybe just switched out Cowan-Dickie for Brandon Kelleher. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion. But it's purely based on the fact that it's played at the Aviva. Otherwise, I would have gone Luke Cowan-Dickie, because he'd probably be the guy that I'm playing off the bench when Dan Sheehan's available.
Look at that. Tyburn and Maro Toji at lock. Arguably the two best locks in the world in the last 12 months, I would argue.
I'm surprised Itojo's got the 5 jersey and Burns got the 4.
Yeah, usually he's 4 and Tyburn plays 5 for Ireland a lot, so it's a bit odd. But maybe it's something to do with where they want them in the scrum, like sort of weight things. I don't know.
Kind of what we do with our 6 and 7 jerseys.
Yeah. Just change it up for fun of it.
No, but that could possibly, like, even on form, be the world's best lock pairing.
Yes, I think so.
That is a very, very sexy lock pairing. I mean, it's two guys that can basically do it all. It's all about, obviously, how they'll play off each other now. But I kind of think where Morrow's strong points are where Tyburn maybe lacks a little bit, and then vice versa, right? Because for me, when I look at Tyburn, I look at him as kind of that Lode Jager build, or Franco Mostert even, who just hits sensational lines. Like, he is crazy when it comes to line breaks for a lock, where you don't really see that from Maro Itoje, where he brings that physicality, lethal at the breakdown, those type of things. Obviously,
both their all-round game is just phenomenal.
Yeah. I reckon just on face value, it looks like those two will complement each other pretty nicely on that one. So yeah, fair enough. You're probably excited to talk about this back row.
Well, back row, they've snuck in a Welshman. They have snuck in a Welshman, but never mind. Tom Curry, Jack Morgan, and Ben Earl. That is a quick and dynamic back row, or quite a dynamic back row, isn't it?
No, it is a sexy one. The whole forward pack, right? Because you can say they snuck in a Welshman, but if you look at the way that he plays for Wales, I know you don't want to give them a lot of credit, but Jack Morgan is a standout in that Welsh team, and he deserves this, right? And if you're of the opinion that if they play a full strength team with, let's say, Josh Van der Vlier coming in and those type of guys to take his spot, you kind of need to give him game time. So you give him the games like this, and I think he'll still perform. He's defensively extremely sound. He gets around the park. And that's the thing, right? You can have these standout guys that really pop out, like the likes of a Tyburn, Mario Torje, Ben Earl. Like, those three guys are really guys that you see on the field standing out. You need those little Jack Russells, the workhorses that just gets around and does the dirty work. Jack Morgan's perfect for that. So I think he complements this team pretty well. So
I got so confused when you said that. Jack Russell's you like combining Jack Morgan and Finn Russell. You mean like a dog?
Oh, no. I don't know. Do you guys not say that? We've got a little. It's just like a Jack Russell. Just like everywhere. He gets in everywhere. I just think of
like all the football, like, because like rugby names, because it's like two iconic rugby names.
Oh, okay, no. I'm excited to see what Ben Earl does. He has to take this opportunity, because we obviously spoke about the number 8 jersey Could it be, for instance, Conan? Could it be, well, Kalen Doris before he got injured and stuff? And now kind of it's opened up for Ben Earl, and he has to stand out and perform. So
Exactly.
big batch for him. Yeah.
He said it is a huge opportunity thrown his way. And if he has a fantastic game like he was in the World Cup, he can become the starting 8 by the time of the series, the main series, the first game against Wallabies.
Give us your prediction. Do you think he'll be the starting 8 come international games after the big ones?
No, I don't, because I think Jack Conan is a really underrated player. He knows Andy Farrell. I think Ben Earl hasn't been hitting quite those heights he was 18 months ago. So I'm going to say Conan will start.
Do you reckon Andy Farrell might say, well, I like the impact from Jack Conan off the bench? Might go with Jack Conan from the bench. To be fair, you've got enough impact players that you can bring off the bench, especially if you want to get Henry Pollock involved. I think Pollock is the perfect guy to bring off the bench. And I wouldn't necessarily have Jack Conan and Henry Pollock on the bench.
I think you're saying like Conan's great off the bench. When people say that, I think it's just a compliment that they can do it the whole time. You know, I think Jack Conan will be great from the start, and I think Benno, as I said, Benno can definitely take his place, but I think Conan will still be ahead as currently.
Fair enough. I agree. I think Conan's just been insane this season. It's been his best rugby season by a country mile, and it's always been.
We're moving on to the halfback pairing because I can't wait any longer. Alex Mitchell and Finn Smith starting 9 and 10. Give me your thoughts.
It's a good one. That when we did do you remember when we did it? What was it? A bit more than a month ago when we said our 23 that we'd actually play. Yeah. I said I'd go with Finn Smith as my 10, even if Finn Russell was there. I know Finn Russell played an outstanding game against Bath. Andre Pollard did not pitch up at all. Yeah. Right. But I like Finn Smith. I like the way that he's just composed, controls the game very, very nicely. I said Alex Mitchell is quality. If it wasn't for Gibson Park and Antoine Dupont, I think he would have had a clear shout to be number 1 in the world. That's how good he is. I think he's very underrated in world rugby. He does the job. They complement each other. They play together at Saints. I like this combination. And I would play combination work in the actual Lions tour as well. I'd say Alex Mitchell and Finn Smith has to play together. And I think if they're probably going to go with Finn Russell, right? Or that would be the most likely shot. And then you have Gibson Park and Russell. Those two play together. If they switch over on the bench, the other two play together. But then, again, I also said Marcus Smith is fixed on my bench. He has to be involved. But whoever starts has to play with if it's going to be Finn Smith playing with Alex Mitchell, if it's going to be Russell playing with Gibson Park. I think combinations just work so much better when it comes to the halfback pairing. Just my opinion, though. But I like it. It's sexy.
It's very exciting. It's really exciting. They both play, obviously, together at Northampton. A lot of people maybe watching this don't, the last game they watched was that Champions Cup final. Well, I think got slightly flustered from the injuries and reshuffling, but don't forget, like, all year for Northampton and at England in the Six Nations, they've been playing together. They're unbelievable. I've got no doubt they're going to light it up together for the Lions. And they
played brilliantly against Leinster in the semi-final. So you can't judge it off one off game, just like you can't judge it on one good game. But they've been performing on a consistent basis. I'm not here to shit talk them. I can't believe I'm talking so many nice things about the Northern Hemisphere guys.
No, but I know a lot.
But I mean, it's on merit. It's on merit. Yeah. It's the correct thing.
A lot of people watch this might not watch. That might be the last game they watch of them. But yeah. So yeah, I think they'll be fantastic together.
I want to hear your opinion. Don't come to me. I want to hear your opinion on the centre pairing.
No, I just want to say first of all, Finn Russell, that performance in the Premiership final, he has to start after that because it was outrageous. I can't remember. About 3 weeks ago, Jimmy said attitude problem. Never have him back on again after that because, oh my God, that was just an unbelievable performance. And to be so selfless to pass the ball to a Bath fan growing up as well, that's a classy touch. Jimmy knows rugby. Jimmy doesn't know rugby now.
No, it was a fair performance. It was a brilliant performance. I've slandered. I wouldn't say slander, right? Because I've always said Finn Russell's overrated. Not that he's bad, but if you say someone's the best in the world, and I don't believe he's the best in the world, then I can say it's overrated, right? Because I don't rate him as highly as that. But he is a good player. he was outstanding in that game. Like literally ran the show. I'll give him his flowers. Like I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I don't mind people proving me wrong, right? When it's
Yeah.
if you put in a performance like that, fair play.
Yeah.
If you're going to play like that
I
every single game, there you go. Take it.
thought
Take that 10
he was
jersey. It's
the best
yours.
player in that match. But they gave it to someone else, but I thought he was incredible.
Who?
Yeah, Finn Russell. So
Yeah, they gave it to Ted Hill, who was great anyway as well.
they gave it to
Was
that
it
Guy
Ted Hill?
Pepper. Guy Pepper.
Guy Pepper. Yeah,
Yeah.
my apologies. Almost scored
But
a
he was
crazy
good.
try.
But yeah. Anyway, you want to get onto the centre?
The centre combination.
Yeah.
Because we had all these mix and matches of what we're going to see as centre combinations for the Lions. And I don't think any of us brought this one up because they've got Hugh Jones fit, right?
But
they went with Bundiaki.
I think he has a few doubts, actually, to be fair.
Okay.
He didn't play against Leinster in the semi-final.
Okay, maybe you're correct. But Bundiaki, inside centre, Sione Tuipulotu, outside centre. Now, Tuipulotu played against Leinster in the semi-final at outside centre because I think Tom Jordan took the inside centre role. I don't know why they switched that because Tom Jordan was sensational against the Stormers in 10 and Bundy as the 12. But you've got two bashers of the ball in your centre pairing. Like this is behemoth as two centre pairing.
I think it's fair to say, like, it's going to be good having like a natural 13 as Hugh Jones or Ringrose, whoever they want to choose. But this is the centre pairing fans want to see at least once, just really go into people, go into the opposition. I mean, like, God help the centres for Argentina dealing with this just ridiculous pairing. Oh, I can't wait.
The wings aren't touching the ball. Both of these guys like a carry. So if Bundy finally decides to actually throw the ball out wide, Tuipulotu's just going to carry it.
I'll tell you what, though.
Juan Vandermerwe and Tommy Freeman, they'll be there for a kick chase. That's
two big wings. So you've got two big centres and two big wingers. Like, it's going to be a physical backline, that.
It's the world's biggest backline, this one.
It is. It really is. Like, Freeman is like 6'4", and we all know how big Vandermerwe is. Like, this is a big, big team. Can't wait to watch. Yeah. I think Vandermerwe is going to be fun to watch him.
Do you reckon they throughout the game they just switch around a bit between Bundy and Sione? See who takes the inside centre role, who takes outside centre, just kind of interchanging.
Yeah, well, I think that's the beauty of it. They can be flexible. I would imagine Aki is more of a 12 and more less adjusted to 13, but he can definitely play there if needed.
Tuipulotu has played more outside centre than Bundy.
Yeah, he's a bit smaller than Bundy, I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to say too much about Tuan and Tommy Freeman. No. I'm not surprised by either one of the two. No. Maybe I'm a bit surprised that Tommy Freeman's playing ahead of Mac Hansen, but also purely on the Irish one. The same as I mentioned with Ronan Kelleher.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Tommy Freeman's definitely better. That's why I said, just because it's played in Ireland at the Viva.
I was having a panic attack there. I was going to just...
No. Tommy Freeman probably on form, best wing in the world. Up there, at least.
Yeah.
No. No, I wouldn't slander your boy like that. What's your thoughts on Marcus going into that 15 jersey? I was surprised.
I mean, I wasn't surprised because Kinghorn and Keenan obviously busy. It was a straight shootout between him and Daly. Doesn't really matter, I don't think, too much, because if he's having a shocker, you can just take off Finn Smith and bring on Daly and move Marcus 15, or just do a straight swap, take off Marcus Smith. So it's quite good actually, because if Finn Smith does happen to be having a bad game, which is very, very rare, it means Marcus Smith can come in whenever, really. So yeah, not surprised at him.
Okay, fair enough. We'll just run through the bench quickly. Keller, Piers Kuman, Tide Furlong. Fair enough. Agree with those. Yeah. Scott Cummins on the bench with Henry Pollock. He'll be making his debut for the Lions.
Who else
excited to see it.
Lock, other than Cummings, just to think quickly, because I know Chesson played in the final, and McCarthy, and James Ryan. Yeah, so I guess it was always going to be Cummings. Yeah. And Pollock. We've got to talk about Pollock. He's going to come on at 60 minutes. He's already made the Aviva his training ground when he played.
Do you reckon he scores?
Yeah, I reckon he scores. I do.
Well, I reckon Argentina beat you guys, but I mean, It is what it is.
Well,
Thomas Williams, Elliot Daly, and then Mac Hansen to round it up for the Lions team. Very strong team. To think about it as like there's no Irish guys really in there that played for Leinster. I mean, there's a lot of Irish guys that play for Leinster, and you still have to add them to this. It's a badass team.
Yeah.
It's a sexy team. Obviously, you have to add a Jameson Gibson Park to that. That definitely comes in.
James
Kinghorn,
Lowe.
James Lowe. Oh, Conan, as we mentioned. Goodness gracious.
Oh.
Yeah, no, scary team. Scary team. Just overall, obviously, we just need to see how they combine together and how they actually play. Now we can move on from the Lions and move on to another talking point, because obviously I don't want to just talk about the North.
Well, I don't know. Sorry, did you want to talk about the Argentinian team? Or were you not that fussed?
Not really that fast. They've got a full strength team. Like Kremer's still playing, Pablo Monteiro's playing, Juan Martin Gonzalez is playing, Otavio's playing, Petranos, Albanaz is playing.
It's good. It's good. I think they might struggle. I think they might struggle at line out big time with these locks. Again, they've got Gonzalez and Matera. Their locks are Molina and Rubiolo, who both play in the Prem. But Rubiolo's been injured all year, so he's like his second game back. And then
I mean, you can have Sam Whitelock and Brody Retallick, and you still wouldn't necessarily be secure at line out time when it boils down to a tight burn and a Mario Torje.
Exactly. And then I don't know this centre. Forgive me, Justo Picardo, and
no,
so he's
me neither.
His work cut out against Bundiaki and Tupelotu.
Yeah, no, me neither. There's no flyer there on the wing. There's no Carreras. Is he injured? I'm not even sure where he played.
I don't know. I don't know where he is. I don't watch the top 14. I don't know if his team is still in the finals, but I don't know really. My bad.
Am I blurry now? I just saw my Wi-Fi dropped.
Yeah, you have been quite blurry this whole last 5-10 minutes.
Yes, I reckon Argentina will put up a fight. It's not a totally new team. They'll obviously want to get a victory under their belt, or at least have a good performance, knowing that they have to move into a Rugby Championship. Who's Argentina playing in the right before the Rugby Championship? Do they have any tours for them? I'm not even sure. Who are they playing?
Like us.
Oh. Does those games count as like international games?
Yes.
So they'll affect the world rankings if you guys lose that game. So Argentina, if Argentina beat you guys, they could take the Rayburn Shield.
I don't give a monkey about the Rayburn Shield, but I would still want to stay in the top 6 or top 5, whatever it is, for the world.
Oh, it's massive! It's massive. This thing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So it's kind of not all doom and gloom. The fact that all of your boys are going to the, not as many boys of you are going to the British and Irish Lions, because you still got a talented team. Because I saw your squad; it's still crazy. Anyway, let's talk about South Africa. South Africa taking on the Barbars. There's a couple of big injuries. We had a 54-man squad, 55-man squad has been brought down to 45-man squad now. I'm kind of in this weird situation where I don't know who I want to play against the Barbarians, because I don't really want. Obviously, I want to get the guys to be in form when they go to the Rugby Championship or play the tours and those type of things. But I don't want to risk them with the Barbars, because you just know that's going to be a physical game, and I don't want to risk an injury there. What's your thoughts on just Barbarian rugby overall and them taking on the countries?
I mean, it's great, isn't it? It's a great thing that rugby does. I don't think it'll be too physical. I mean, unless they get a load of Fijians in, I think you'll be mostly okay. But I think you're also playing some weaker teams. Who are you playing? Is it Portugal? No, not Portugal. Who's going down?
No,
Georgia.
It's Italy and Georgia as well.
I wouldn't call them weak, but I think you can.
No, but I want to go full strength against those guys.
No, exactly.
I want to really test the first team before we go into the Rugby Championship.
I think you can do a somewhat rotational thing. So you have your first choice lock like an Etzebeth, then like a fourth or fifth one, and do that a lot in every sort of position, and then for each of the games, the Barbars games and Italy and Georgia, and just slowly work them up way into fitness and see who you want to see. And I think that's how you do it.
Who do you want to see represent the Barbarians? Who's been announced? Sam Kane.
It's also not to
Shane Frizzell.
Well, I think they've got the three Irish guys who have retired.
Yeah, Peter O'Mahony,
Conor Murray.
Do you reckon Dan Coles plays? Seeing that he was sent to, he finished his career in the Sinman.
I think he might. I think he might go for it. But he got a text. Did you watch their podcast? He got a text saying, "If you want to come down, you can come down."
Well, I don't know how serious they were when they said that. But,
but I'd love to see it.
Yeah. If I think about like other guys that I want to see Owen Farrell. Put Owen Farrell in that team.
If he's made commitments to do punditry for the Lions on Sky Sports, I don't think he'll come down and do that for South Africa.
Fine, then add Richie Moana.
Oh, well, that'd be nice. But I just want to I want to make the point. Like, we still don't know who's going to be in these this Anzac test and this Pacifica First Nations game for the Lions tour. So that's quite like they should really be confirming these teams by now.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see who they're confirming. But I'm like, where's the Barbarians team? You should announce these guys so that I can get excited for it. It's literally a week away.
A week away? It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, but like it's not like you've got the squad and you can kind of try and figure out who's going to be in it. They're just releasing it one by one. I'm like, well, fucking someone just grab a photo shoot of who's at the training ground. Seriously, I just don't know. Right, just snap them up. Anyway, what's your expectations for the Springboks going into Rugby Championship? Because we'd be expected to beat Italy and Georgia, but I want to play our full strength team against those guys. I want to see rugby grow for the Italians and stuff that's traveling here. You don't want to play second string teams against them. Respect them, play a full strength team. Maybe here and there rotation. That's not the end of the world, but predominantly first team.
Have
Rugby
Italy,
Championship.
Have Italy ever beaten you in South African soil? On South African
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, this is the time. This is their time. First ever.
No, because they're not even sending a full strength team because of the guys that they have in France, right?
Yeah, it's annoying.
Do you reckon South Africa can go back to back with the Rugby Championship? But we are playing 2 games in New Zealand, of which one is at Eden Park.
No, I think New Zealand will win.
How about a sneaky Aussie shout to win the Rugby Championship?
No, I think if they got to go away to you, I mean, they might win both their games in Argentina, so maybe that helps them that they have to go away to you. But I can't see them getting more than 3 or 4 wins, and I think at least one of the other teams will do better than that.
Okay.
I'd love it if Australia won the Rugby Championship or Argentina.
Yeah, you can piss right off. I wouldn't love it.
I could just see New Zealand winning it because I think they're still good enough to get 2 away wins in Argentina, and then.
Do you reckon whoever wins the Eden Park test wins the Rugby Championship?
No, they have to beat you twice to guarantee it.
Yeah, no, but
no. I think winning in Eden Park isn't enough. This is the All Blacks. The best rugby team of all time is the All Blacks. They got to have the mentality. They got to beat you twice. You beat them twice last year at home. They got to do the same.
I want that desperately. You don't even understand because I'm like at some point that record has to end. Like everything, all records end at some point, and we deserve to be the ones to break it.
Well, no, I got a new question for you, Divin. Would you rather win the Rugby Championship, but you win every game except the Eden Park one, or beat them at Eden Park, but you come second behind them?
No, I like silverware more. I'm not a twat. Yeah,
okay,
I'm used to losing at Eden Park, but I want that trophy.
No,
I want silverware.
I think that's the correct answer.
Yeah, no. A one-off test winning there. That's not. I'm not sitting here thinking about Eden Park. I want that every day of the week.
Yeah.
It's just an add-on that I want as well, right? So
it's a statement though if you do beat them at Eden Park, especially if you beat them twice. Like that's like holy.
imagine if we beat them at Eden Park and then we lose at what is the other one? Dunedin.
Is it, I don't know. I think it might be Wellington again.
where they're struggling at the moment. So we beat them at Eden Park and then lose at Wellington. It will be typical South Africa.
Yeah, keep talking about check. But yeah,
who's one Springbok player from the squad? I mean, you don't really have to see the squad, but that you are excited to see this season.
One Springbok player.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to see someone new. So I would like to see Augustus or Hanekom, but they're both injured, so that's great.
That Hanekom one is bad. That's sad.
How long is he out for?
Bro, I think that's ACL or MCL or whatever. That's gone.
Okay. Well, maybe if Augustus because I'm mostly watching him in the Premiership for Northampton, if he can get back for the Rugby Championship, I'd love to see him get some real game time for you guys. It's at Wellington, the other game.
Okay. I'm really excited to... because Peter Steph du Toit is also injured, by the way. I reckon if we want a perfect replacement for him, Jean-Luc Dupree. I want to see how he performs in there. Obviously, he's gone from sale now. He's got a massive contract with Bordeaux, which just tells you that he's been on some flying form.
Sorry, is Peter Steph du Toit going to miss the Rugby Championship?
No. Rassie has come out and said he's going to miss the first couple of games, but they're just monitoring it, so he'll be back for the Rugby Championship. Something in the lines of that.
You know who I'd like to see? I'd like to see Thomas du Toit. Obviously Premiership bias, but like get a start for you.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have a new what's the 3 tight head, right? So we'll have a new number 3 because Frans Malherbe is not even in the squad. But the thing is now, who do we pick? Because there's 3 absolute studs. Wilco Louw, in my opinion, should have got SA Player of the URC. Neetling Fouché, who's been unbelievable at the Stormers for the past couple of years, like to the extent where we don't even miss Frans Malherbe. And then obviously Thomas du Toit as the other one. Now, I'm a massive advocate for Thomas du Toit. Something that plays in his favor that doesn't necessarily play with the others, he can scrum on both sides.
Yes.
So, which makes it interesting. But that number 1 jersey obviously goes to Ox.
He's also just like a try-scoring machine. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
Yeah. What I reckon is we might go with, for instance, remember Vincent Koch is there as well. So I reckon it's either going to be Wilco or Thomas du Toit that starts, and then it's going to be Vincent Koch from the bench. Okay. He's still going to be the one from the bench. So it's one of those 3, but all 3 of them have been world class.
Yeah. Do you see any new backs coming in? Obviously, the fly half. Both your sort of halfback jerseys are kind of up for grabs, I think. So, what do you want to see there?
Well, interesting enough, right? Because we all spoke about Jaden Hendrickse being loved by Rassie. Rassie's dropped him out of the squad. So now it's kind of, well, Grant Williams has been injured. Morde van den Berg has been great for the Lions. But I wanted to see Embrose Papier for the Bulls. I think he thoroughly deserves it. I don't know on what merit he's not been picked. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that 9 combo. Will Rassie go back to a Faf de Klerk? I don't know too much about.
There's only one answer to it, Casual. There's only one answer. Ivan Van Zyl. There we go.
I've heard people mentioning him, that he's been playing some good rugby.
He's probably not Springbok level, but he's been playing well.
But I'm excited to see Sasha second year back in that 10 jersey. What he does in the big games. Does he get back straight off to say, okay, you're going to be the 10? And it's not this thing where Andre starts certain games, Sasha starts certain games. Kind of just want to see the trust in Sasha. And what I'm also very excited to see is what we do with Damian Willemse. Because Willy's going for his 100th cap, right? Apelile Fassi's played brilliantly when he played 15. Like, he's just taken his game to a new level. I mean, I don't know what got into that guy in the past, let's say, 12 months. But he's picked up his game phenomenally. Now, Damien was obviously injured. He didn't play a single game of international rugby for the previous sporting year. But now I'm thinking, do we reckon that Damien Delunda might be one that's kind of, how far do we still have him for? Do we have him for 2027 and then it's cut off? Will he still have his strength and everything that he brings to the table by 2027? Do we maybe give Damien Willemse a shout at inside center? I want to just see what the role is, because Damien plays inside center for the Stormers, right? So it'll be interesting to see the way that we approach it with that. But in my opinion, Damien Willemse is my fullback. He's the fullback. But as I said, you just don't know. So I'm very interested just to see what we do with the likes of him, because obviously he needs to perform.
You're way more knowledgeable on the URC than me, and also the Springbok squad. So, like, who would be the other 12 options? I know Esther Hazen quite well, but who else is in the squad fighting for 12?
Well, the thing is, you've got Delunda, you've got Estrazen, you've got Damien Willemse that plays inside centre for the Stormers, but he's fullback for me. Because he started his career as a fly-off, then moved to fullback, and then they've been playing him at 12.
Yeah.
For me, I would actually have my backup inside centre as, except not for Andre Estrazen, as Ethan Hooker. I'm sure you've heard me talk about this guy, but he's been playing on the wing for the Sharks, but he's actually an inside centre, and he is phenomenal. Yeah. He's an absolute stud. So
yeah, I've seen a bit of him. He looks good.
No, he's crazy good, but I reckon they'll probably play him as an outside centre replacement, seeing that Lukani Arm's injured and they haven't brought in another outside centre. They've just said,
do they have Creel?
Jesse Creel's there, yeah. He's the only outside centre. Okay. Him and then Kanan Moody has played outside centre for us before, and then you have Ethan Hooker.
Okay. That's some pretty fucking good options, though, isn't it? Though, really, like.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, we've got a lot of injuries, but it's kind of this thing where you're not happy that there's injuries, but it opens up the space for other guys to really take that opportunity. Because, for instance, let's use Jean-Luc du Preez. You've seen him week in, week out for sale. How good has he been? He's been great, right?
Yeah, pretty good. There's so many good South Africans at a good level who just look below, like, someone like Banter van Bensberg, who's been awesome at centre.
Yeah. But let's Jean-Luc, right? He's always kind of been on the outskirts of the box team. He's always been picked. Well, not always been picked, but he's been picked on multiple occasions, but hasn't got that game time.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at Cameron Hanekom, who was kind of the 8 that they viewed, or John Augustus, those two were the 8 options, both of them out. Jasper Wiese is coming back from a massive long-term injury. He's not match fit yet, which opens up that 8 spot for either Jean-Luc du Preez, because he plays there for sale as well, right? Or Ivan Roos. And then you look at Pieter Steff is also out, which opens up that spot as the number 7, but we obviously switch our 6 and 7. So then he can take that role where he also plays for sale. But we've got other Lucy's as well that's been great, that's been selected. So I want to see the guys on the outskirts that just gets in there. But the competition is crazy. And I don't want to get to this point, and I've mentioned this before, where you just rotate every single game, because then it's pointless. They need consistent game time. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, I think if you know Wiese's first choice for now, I would say he's the one they've looked at the most, and he's going to be out. Augustus and Hanekom are going to be out. I think you might as well stick with Lowe or du Preez or whoever, and give them at least the 3 or 4 games before the Rugby Championship. Give them all the starting game time at least, and just give them that run, like you said.
Yeah, I would do that. I would maybe play one different one against the Barbarians.
Yeah.
Let's say Barbarians and one Italy game, and then I'd give the other Italy game and the Jordan game. Because by that time, both of them have had 2 games, 2 proper opportunities. I know you probably want to have more than that, but then by that time, Jasper Wiese is probably a bit more match fit. You can start getting Jasper Wiese back in, because you already know what Jasper brings you. He's an absolutely beast. So, and by that time, you also want Pieter Steff du Toit kind of back. So then you kind of have that, but then they're obviously fighting out for the spots on the bomb squad. just coming off the bench. So the only thing that I don't want is going to that 8 jersey and seeing the starting lineup and seeing Kwagga Smith there. Kwagga, you have to be on the bench. I don't want to. Don't test this again. Do not test this again. Please. Just that's the only thing that I'm begging for. Other than that, go crazy. Rusty, throw the kitchen sink at it. We're obviously building. I want to see the new attacking styles. I want to see the younger guys getting some opportunity, but playing with experienced guys as well. So
yeah. I can ask you a fun question.
Mm.
I don't know if you'll find it fun, but my question is, what position or positions do you think the Springboks are going to have the most trouble going forward in the next 5 years? I just really want.
We don't have a lot of standout hookers. I think that could be a problem.
Okay.
But the thing with your props and your hookers, they usually play till a bit later. They hit their prime a bit later. Like your full body maturity is only after you've hit 30. So maybe hookers. I feel like there is scrum off depth, but also not enough scrum off depth.
Maybe not enough international proven there.
Yeah. The thing is, you can always say it for any position where there's a bunch of experience in there, right? Because now I can tell you locks, but if you look at the locks that we have now, you're not going to replace Eben Etzebeth by the next lock you just choose, or you're not going to replace Franco Mostert just like that. The same with the wingers, right? We've got depth in our wings with Kane and Moody, Edwin van der Merwe, Ethan Hooker, if you want to, Lorenzo Julius. But you look at who we're losing, it's not comparable to a Cheslin Colby and everything that he can offer you. So it's a tough one. In my opinion, that comes straight to mind is probably hookers and maybe scrum offs, in my opinion. I think there's enough when it comes to the young talent that we have in the other positions. Maybe centers or something, but I've just mentioned a billion centers that we can also just choose from, right? Yeah. So it all comes down to it, because you can say, what are we going to struggle with in the next 5 years? But you only need 1 year to find a hidden gem, right? You guys picked up Henry Pollock literally last year, now he's lying.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, let's wrap it up over there. That was just a good discussion.
Did you want to talk about the legend himself, or you done?
Who's the legend? Owen Farrell. No. We can talk about him at another time. I'll give you the floor. What's your thoughts on Faz coming back? You think it's a good move? Because obviously there's a bit of controversy around it. Didn't really perform at Racing, obviously injury plagued as well. And now he's come back. You happy?
It's an interesting one. I think it's good for English rugby, and it's Saracens legend. But it's going to be interesting how the dynamic happens with Fergus Burke. Not to get really club specific, but let's talk about just general England. It's going to be it's good, I think, because it just means he's back in the fold if we ever do need another 10. And I could already just see him somehow getting in the squad in 2 years' time in the World Cup. But it's good just to see him back playing in England, I think.
Let's say if Owen Farrell comes back, he plays, let's say, average rugby, nothing standout or anything like that. Mm-hmm. He gets selected for England. Does he have to start in the World Cup then?
Does he what, sorry?
Or does he have to start in the World Cup then? Just because it's a big occasion, even though he's not been playing necessarily the best rugby.
No, he doesn't have to start, because I think Finn Smith is playing really well. But, I mean, they'll find out more in training when they go up against each other, what it's like. But, he's been there and done it in big games, so it's difficult. It's really difficult. But we'll see. It's ages away. But it's just a fun bit of news for English rugby.
But you're more happy. You're happy about it. Who was the team for Sarries this season?
Fergus Burke.
Okay.
He's a Kiwi who came from the Crusaders.
Okay, fair enough. Would you rather have Owen Farrell?
it's difficult. It is difficult because if Burke brings, he's got a bit more able to run it a little bit more. He's a bit quicker, a bit younger. But in the big moments for Saracens games, probably still would take Farrell for that game management. It's probably what that's cost us getting into the top 4 this year. Saracens are seeing out games, so you probably would like Farrell in the squad.
Do you reckon there'll be a couple of English guys that come back now before the next World Cup? Arundel's coming back as well,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
he's going to Bath.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to Bath. And wouldn't be surprised if at some point Joe Marchant tries to make his way back potentially for the next World Cup. He's at Stade Francais. He obviously played quite a bit in the last one. Jack Willis seems pretty dedicated to Toulouse, so probably won't see him back, but you never know.
You think Jack Willis will see out his days there?
He seems to really enjoy it. So unless he falls off a cliff and gets around 30, I can see him staying for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be nice to get Ribbons back. I know he's South African, but England. But he's been playing well. But yeah, we're quite good at lock.
Okay, we'll wrap it up over there. Jake, thanks for joining as always. People, please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate you guys. Go show Jake some love on his socials as well. 24-hour rugby Jake, and give him some words of encouragement when it comes down to his fitness journey. Obviously needs it.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.